Okay, so the ventral body cavities are located on the front of the body, and the dorsal body cavities are on the back of the body. So in the dorsal, on the dorsal side, there's the cranial cavity, which would be up at the top where the brain would be. So this is the skull, and it contains the brain. And then also on the dorsal is the spinal cavity, which is like the spine, the vertebrae, and the spinal cord. And then on the ventral side, the front, there's a thoracic, which is like the chest area. And then the inside the thoracic cavity is the pleura, which surrounds each of the lungs. And then the mediastinum cavity is the space between the lungs, and it extends to the vertebrae and neck to diaphragm. So that means it has the trachea and the heart, and then there's the there's the pericardial, which houses the heart. So like right there, and then the lungs are there, And then the diaphragm separates the two ventral cavities. So then there's the abdominal pelvic cavity. So this has the abdomen and the pelvis. So both of those cavities. And then so the abdominal cavity has all of the digestive organs, and the pelvic cavity is like the bladder, reproductive organs, colon, and rectum. And that should be it. So the cranial cavity is superior to the thoracic cavity, which means also the thoracic cavity is inferior to the cranial cavity. And then... Okay, stop it. So the left pleura is lateral, so away from the midline. And then so posterior is towards the back. So on the back would be the dorsal, so that holds the cranial cavity and the spinal cavity. And then posterior, so the front, that is the thoracic cavities. And then lastly, what is it called? The diaphragm is intermediate to the abdominal pelvic cavity and the thoracic cavity. They're intermediate. Oh, wait, what's in between them, though? No, the pelvic is at the bottom, and then the abdominal, and then it goes thoracic. So then the abdominal cavity is intermediate to those.